Welcome back, week 2.
Man, I'm surprised I made it through the week with all the hate I had last week from the conspiracy theory of the moon landing. Oh, man,
You're like world number one hated in the
public
Bigfoot world,
enemy
right?
number one right now. Yeah, but anyway, great week. How was your week?
It was good, a lot of work. How about you?
Work, and then, trying to study for some more conspiracy theories to...
From what you told me off camera, it's a pretty good one this week.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
There's a lot to back it, but
But short of the week first.
Yeah, let's do short of the week.
Yeah, good segue into this. Email was kind of dry this week, I'm not going to lie. But we got one that was pretty interesting. It was, I don't know what kind of camera it was being filmed on. I don't know if anybody was filming it or if it's just like a camera stationary. But it was just a stationary view of dark trees, dark woods, wilderness. And you see like a little white illuminated head with glowing eyes kind of walk by making noise, turns, looks at the camera, and then just disappears.
Really?
And that's all it was.
Bigfoot?
I don't think it was Bigfoot. Those experts out there that want to talk about wendigos and skinwalkers and rakes and all that, yeah, experts. But I don't think it was Bigfoot. You can see what you think about it, but it looked like some type of white head or maybe even a mask. I'll even go that far as saying it might be a debunkable video.
Really?
Yeah.
How long?
5 to 10 seconds max.
Really?
Yeah. They're always short, right? You know?
I mean, the short ones, the better ones, and then, you get the haters. Then it don't matter if you post an hour-long video. It don't matter if you post a 1 second to 10 second to 30 seconds. Why didn't they film longer? Why wasn't they filming before? Well, dear Lord, I don't have a camera follow me around 24/7. And then, like last week, I was reading some of the comments. We never read comments, but it was our first podcast. I just kind of wanted to read comments, but you cut a short out of it. There's people like asking, well, who films their dog in their yard with a frisbee? And I'm just like, I do that a lot with Castle. I mean, am I a weirdo?
No, I mean, that's your family. Like, you want to remember your family. You want to take images and videos of your family to remember forever, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how many take a Riley a day?
Gosh almighty. I'm telling you, I think I've taken a picture every single day she's been alive. No lie. That's why the memory on my phone is always full.
That's good. Father of the year.
Yeah, Father of the year.
Father of the century. The millennium.
Yeah. So, I want to ask, because I think it was something pretty cool we did last week. I know we talk about the most memorable point.
Yeah.
Or the most memorable moment we've had, the most special moment to us.
Sure. Yeah.
Now I want to talk about it, and you can lead it off. Mm-hmm. Let's do something that kind of lives like rent free in your head. That's always sparked off, kind of like the SpongeBob thing where they're like, whenever we're at the table waiting on.
I don't need it.
Yeah,
I definitely don't need it.
But you really need it.
Yeah.
I don't need it. I don't need it.
We do that all the time, actually.
That saying, and there's another saying that we used to say. I can't think of it off the top of our head.
We have so many sayings.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But like
rent free.
So we can call this segment like rent free with the Squatch Watchers.
I like it.
Yeah. The
rent free.
Yeah.
So rent free in my head with the Squatch Watchers. I'm gonna go with the first installment of the Bass Pro series, Searching for Sasquatch.
Yeah.
With David.
Yeah.
The sole reason for that is David just wandering off into areas we've never even discovered or investigated before, wandering off with no water, no first aid kit or nothing, just a walkie-talkie in his backpack and the camera, and being gone for hours.
Yeah, and we were trying to get it done before nighttime.
And it was funny because like the whole time, it's like, you ever seen The Office? Like,
yeah.
So there's an episode of The Office where 15 people at work. But there's an episode of The Office where Michael Scott is like trying to be a survivalist, and he like films it, and he's trying to be survival. He's like off the side of the interstate in the woods, and it gives me that type of vibe because like David's got on him. He's like action adventure man. It's just a funny.
He came back soaking wet.
Exactly, yeah.
About to die.
And just huffing and puffing like he's going to blow a house down. It was just, to me, that was one of the funniest things ever because, like, he went totally off script, off the trail. He wasn't even on nothing. So, I don't know. To me, that's the rent-free one right now at the moment for me is just him wandering off. And I think he ended up at somebody's house. So, rent-free. What about you?
Oh, man. So, you went kind of a different take than what I was going to go with rent-free. I was thinking more of, like, action in the woods, like a something Bigfoot action that's happened to you. But that's
Well,
a good one. That's
yeah,
a good one for this week.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
rent-free moment.
Hey,
for you.
we have plenty of
yeah,
them.
I mean, yeah,
exactly.
Oh, man. Now you got me really thinking of a rent-free moment in my head because David's done some crazy stuff like
Well, we've all done crazy
that I
stuff.
thought was just hilarious at the time.
Get the juices flowing.
Oh man. Okay, so I'll give you a weird rent-free moment in my head that involves David.
Okay.
This is not like the funny like yours, but it's kind of cool. So, you know how David always says he thinks Bigfoot can speak English. They can mimic.
Yes,
voices.
right, yeah.
So I know you've heard this story 1,000 times from David, but he's proud of this story. It's cool. We've got proof to back it up. I'm pretty sure it may have been on a video. No, we started rolling after. So it was whenever we first got the cabin over at Rex's, and he was starting to let us use it as our home base. And for some reason, David and Toby wanted to go through the woods up the back way through the cabin, and David's like, "Hey, will you walk the trail back with Kaylin, his daughter?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, sure, we'll go back that way." Because, I mean, we're basically walking just parallel with each other through the woods. So we go, and then all of a sudden, because at that time, that was when I was younger, Toby was new, and every time we'd hear or see or think we heard something, we're like, "Hey, David, check this out. Hey, Dave, come here. Dave." You know, whatever. We've probably said Dave's name at that time in the woods at least.
Yeah, like Dave for sure.
A couple thousand times.
Yeah.
I mean, because we're always, "Dave, come here. Dave, come here. Dave." Like if we hear something. And so we're about a couple, maybe 100 feet from each other, something like that. Maybe a half. I don't know. I don't know how deep they went up. But all of a sudden, in the middle of us, you just hear, "Dave." Was it Bigfoot? Was it what they call skinwalkers? Because that was when I was getting into this a little. I was a couple into it, so skinwalkers was kind of new. But that's the weirdest thing that's happened to us because Dave was like, "Yeah, Taylor," and I was like, "I thought that was."
So you all heard it?
Yeah, we all heard it. It was in the middle of us. You just hear,
Interesting.
"Dave." So that's like one of my rent-free moments because that's when I actually figured out, hey, there's something out here that can speak just like us. And that was in the middle of us, but it just completely silent after that. And the way David and them walked out, I'm pretty sure we did a follow-up video. Gosh, that was years ago. It was like there was places worn out where you could look right down into the cabin.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like it's kind of the back trail that leads
Yeah.
up to the cabin, and there's
Yeah.
like worn out patches. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's kind of just one
Wow.
of the rent-free moments kind of in my head. But I mean, it's not as cool. But we can go into all the. We've
Man.
got so many moments that we can talk about.
Yeah, but you just like one up me. That's like really good Bigfoot activity.
Yeah.
That you.
I mean,
I'll have
you're
to-
welcome to do another one.
Well, I need to think more. Like,
Okay.
I need to do my homework. That's one thing on a
Yeah.
podcast. I got to do my homework better.
Yep.
All right. Conspiracy of
yeah.
the week.
Like, so are you going to always play the good cop, and I got to be the bad cop and bring up this conspiracy every time?
I mean, you play the part well, so you be the bad cop, I be the good cop.
So you're the type of guy that thinks Smokey the Bear's real just because he's on a commercial and he can.
Smokey
he's
the Bear's a
talking bear.
fictional cartoon character
Are you sure?
with automatopoeia.
Are you sure? Do you think the real live action Rocky and Bullwinkle was really?
The
Yeah.
one that flopped
Yeah.
in
Do you
theaters?
think that was really them?
No, it was actors.
Okay, I mean, you
Paid
believe
actors.
that the moon landing was real, along with all the other.
I do not believe.
Okay.
Remember
okay,
what we discussed last week. If you refer back, I could even clip it in this podcast
they may
episode.
have went, but that was fake. Because there's a new movie coming out, by the way.
It was exaggerated, but
There's
what
a new
what
movie coming
What
out.
movie?
I don't know if I'm going to say it. Channing Tatum and Scarlett Johansson talking about I don't know if it's a real movie, but no, it's a real movie coming out. But I don't know if it's based on a true story. But they made a movie just after we did the moon landing thing of them calling in actors to fake a moon landing. You can look up so people that are out there look this
so
trailer
it's like
up.
a movie about the fake moon
movie
landing.
about faking the moon landing.
Okay.
So, booyah! They're
Is
making
it
a
fiction or
movie.
nonfiction?
I don't know. I just saw the previews today. I sent it to you, but you don't ever look at my videos.
I do.
But
Yes, I
anyway,
do.
let's get into conspiracy of the week.
Well, are you sure you want to go forward with this?
Yes,
You want to be
Smokey.
public enemy number one?
Just this week.
Okay.
But you gotta bring up one because I want to
Oh,
argue
I got
you
some.
sometime.
I got some.
Okay.
I got some.
I want to argue
Yeah.
you.
I
Sometime.
got a few up my sleeves.
And I'm not talking about Burt Reynolds going to be the first Han Solo. That's not a conspiracy.
Or what was it David used to say? Kurt Russell was in
Kurt
Old
Russell
Yeller.
was in Old Yeller, and I had to debunk him. And then The Undertaker played Jeepers Creepers. I was like, no, he didn't.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Okay.
David
Conspiracy of the week. What's new this
Conspiracy
week?
of the Okay. So this one actually came across today, and it got my attention over the 500 that I've already got in my head.
Mhm.
But you're going to have to bring one next week. So people in the comments, hold him to it. Have you ever been to Google Earth and just look at how people like will play pranks? Like whenever they see the Google Earth car for street maps, they'll act like they're like punching somebody or
Yeah.
okay. So
Yeah, I have.
here's a weird one that either the government is pulling the biggest fast one on everybody, or this is a legit portal.
A portal, you say?
I'm thinking it's a portal where something can come out of the Earth.
Where's this located? Do you have the coordinates?
California. I do have the coordinates.
Mm.
And if you put the
Video?
coordinates in, you can look at this. Yeah, there's a clear video. I mean, you can come over here and check this thing out. You're going to love it because I think the shape, I kind of dropped a hint when I mentioned the Burt Reynolds Han Solo thing. The shape is kind of weird, but if you really look at this thing, there's stuff sitting in the desert surrounding this, pointing at it.
What kind of stuff?
I want you to look at this video up here or wherever you're going to, or whoever's going to paste this thing here, you know, because you had moon landing above my head last week. But yeah, we've got the coordinates. We can type these things in. You can look at this video and just tell me what you see, because I'm going to pull a David and not put anything in your head yet. But I want you to just check this video out and tell me what you think, because first of all, do you believe that there could be portals?
Yeah, I mean, we talk about it all the time. And we also have the theory about Bigfoot being a portal interdimensional creature. So
yeah, so this could be
portals,
a humongous portal that I guess it's full of, it looks to me like it could be full of water, but there's certain things sitting around it, surrounding it. In just check the video out.
Well, the pause part looks very interesting, so I'm kind of intrigued already.
So I'm going to give you the coordinates, and for the people at home listening that may not be able to see this video, the coordinates are 3553, 23.0 north, 117, 40, 15.0 west. And this thing takes you into the desert out on the outskirts of California. And I'm going to play this video on mute so you can look at it, check it out. And I'm sure it'll be flashed up somewhere on the screen.
Yeah, when you show me, we'll have it flashing up.
Yeah.
Besides,
okay, so just check this thing out.
Okay,
give your honest opinion. And
I am watching.
Let's just check out what's around it. And here we go. So there it is.
Why is it shaped like that?
Yeah.
Some dude on his phone.
Yeah.
Some dude talking to the dude on his phone, pointing.
Let's not. Okay, here we go.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
You know what that looks like?
What?
The Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, right?
Punch it, Chewie.
Yeah. So there it is. Check it out. He's going, like, they're going around it. He tries to zoom into it. This guy does.
It's just a dark hole.
Yep.
Out in the middle of the desert.
And then check it out what he zooms into. These are all them around it.
Bullshit. Oh, tanks.
Yeah.
Tanks.
Yep. Army tanks surrounding the thing. Just all the way around it.
What if it's a military exercise?
What if it is? What if they're just pulling a big elaborate just prank on it? But there's tanks everywhere around this thing. And Google just got it. Like,
it just doesn't make sense. Why would you pull a prank inadvertently where no one's going to know to see it?
Like
or
whoever
look for it?
the guy apparently that found this was just cruising through
By
the
accident.
desert
By
looking
accident,
for conspiracies.
Yeah.
There's one coming up in a few weeks I want to talk about where a guy swears up and down he found a dragon on Google. Pretty crazy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so people stay tuned for that one. But that one's going to be after Tate's conspiracy. But
You're trying to pin these on me, aren't you?
Yeah, but what do you think? Why would there be...
I mean, it's interesting.
That's hundreds of tanks surrounding it.
I mean, my reaction doesn't really say a lot, but I can buy it. I mean, it's in the desert. There's military tanks and whatnot around it. Why would it be there in the first place? You know, if the government or whoever was trying to prank us or pull something on us, why would they do it so inadvertently and not out in the open? Because, like you said, this dude that found it just found it on accident.
Yeah.
I mean...
Yep. And
it's like, interesting.
Yeah. I mean, that's just a weird one. Is there portals in the world that we just don't know about?
Do you think the Earth's imploding?
By imploding, you mean?
Like, sucking up inside itself? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, what's
I've
it
never
to?
heard that
What is
before.
what is it
I mean,
to?
That's
I mean,
a
what is
wild
it?
conspiracy. I
What
don't
is
know.
it?
What could it go to?
I don't know.
I
That's
don't
what I'm
know.
asking
That's
you.
A conspiracy.
You're the
Like,
tinfoil hat man.
well, this conspiracy ties in, and we don't have to do this every week. But last week's it tied into the same dates, kind of Patterson Gimel and the moon landing. This is Portal, and what do we have a theory on with Bigfoot?
We have Bigfoot traveling through portals is our theory.
Yeah,
You think it's... See, when you get into dimensional stuff and portals, Bigfoot or just the broad spectrum of anything in life, like, you're going down such a rabbit hole. I mean, you can go in so many directions. There's so many theories you can have about that.
yeah. Well, maybe you should do it this week. Would you both rather? What do you think's more believable? A portal in the desert?
What's questioning though is like the shape of it. Why is it the shape of like a Star Wars
spacecraft.
vehicle or like
What would be a UFO to us?
what if it's a UFO? What if it's the top of it's black and you think it's a hole, but it's actually just a black
Because a bunch of
outside
people
a shuttle?
do say that they kind of cloak. What if that was like the cloaked water, just kind of dirty, filled up with missiles and bullets, gunpowder?
Or did someone Photoshop something?
That's a bunch of tanks and a bunch of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's just wild that there could be a portal out there, and we have a theory that Bigfoot could be the fallen angel, the portals that they use to walk between two.
okay. So what you're driving at really is we believe that Bigfoot traveled through portals.
Yeah.
We also, well, you believe, I believe too, but we also believe that that is a portal out in the California desert.
I'm not saying it is, but it could be.
We possibly believe that is a portal in the California desert. So, do you believe one or both? Do you believe that Bigfoot can travel in portals? And do you believe in this portal out in California having something to do with Bigfoot, or it actually just being a legit portal to begin with?
I think.
Let us know.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, and it ain't even just Bigfoot. Is that because we think that Bigfoot could be the fallen angels? Like, it couldn't even be a Bigfoot. What if that's just what they look like? You know, like it.
Like they look like a portal?
They look like a Bigfoot.
Oh.
So scary. You know, I
Yeah.
mean, they were cursed. You know, but
Yeah,
anyway,
like the fallen angel theory.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's just something crazy. And like you said, I want to know people's stuff at home. Do you think portals are real for Bigfoot and other beings?
It's interesting. I mean, it is.
Portals. But anyway, speaking of portal, I mean, this could go with portals, but let's get off the conspiracy this week. We'll let the people trash talk us in the comments, and maybe one day we'll pull the comment up of the worst comment of the week.
Crazy stories.
Okay.
Do you have anything crazy happen to you this week out of the ordinary that you couldn't explain or you thought could be something bigger than what it really was?
So I can tell you a crazy story that's happened in this house. That
Recently?
happened like a month ago.
Okay. I'm all ears.
So I've always grown up kind of like this spiritual type stuff. And not saying I'm like a psychic medium or anything like that, but my family has just grown up spiritual, close to God, whatever you say. And I try to follow in with that. I try to live the best life I can.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's perfect. But so we have never really mentioned my brother that passed away to Raleigh, because I've always heard that kids see spirits.
Yes.
And this is a true story. I swear on you. I'll lead into this. So every time me and my cousin Shadow are together, it seems like something crazy happens, right?
Right.
So the first house me and Paige bought before we moved here, because we hated living right there in the city with the main road in front of our house. Me and Shadow came over. The first time Shadow came over, me and him, I just moved into a house. He was over there hanging out with me. We were playing NASCAR on the TV.
That was fun. Remember
That
those
was
days?
so fun.
Full send?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the full send was great.
That was fun.
But so we're sitting there, and then my brother had been passed away a couple years by now. I think a year, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had to be a year.
Yeah.
It was within a year. And the water in the bathroom, just the side bathroom that was right there beside the living room, I don't know if you remember, but it just turned on its own. Just
The sink faucet did?
Yeah, the sink faucet. So we kind of looked at each other and we're like, that's probably just my brother Cody saying hey to us. We was like, okay, cool. Kind of brushed it off, but it was wild. Paige and I saw a mist in that house and everything just in the bathroom.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was wild. And then we filmed that one thing with the SLS and that was trying to take your hat that night in that house.
Something happened with your mom, too, with your brother. I don't remember what, but
Yeah.
there was something like that
Yeah.
one time.
Yeah, that was
Or,
my
multiple
dad.
times.
That was my real dad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, we move into this house. We never mention my brother to Riley because I've always wanted to be like, I don't want to mention him yet to her, just because we don't, or my dad. So there's two things. Okay, I'm gonna try to just jump into this quick. The first time she gets the dog that was my dad's, that my grandma gave my dad. It was like this stuffed dog that he just kept on his bed in the bedroom for like a decoration or whatever.
Yeah.
And I have it in my trophy case downstairs that's got all like some of my sports memorabilia in it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Riley gets it out and says, Papa, Papa. And we've never.
Oh, wow.
I've never mentioned that to her. And I was like, me and Paige just kind of looked at each other. And I was like, who? She said, Papa, Papa. This is Papa's. I'm like, huh.
She's only 2. So
She's only 2.
Yeah.
And at that time, she was only like a year and a half.
Well, yeah. So
And so that was a few months ago. So I pull out a picture of my dad because I was wanting to wait until she got older just for moments like this.
Yeah.
And I said, who's this? I had a couple pictures. We started flipping. I said, who's this? I didn't even have to say who's this. And she said, Papa.
Oh, wow.
So that one's kind of crazy. And then
That's creepy too.
And then Shadow was over here again.
Mm-hmm.
Me and him got back. He come over here and was hanging out. That was just probably 2 months ago. And she walked into the living room and into the kitchen from the living room.
Mm-hmm.
And she started laughing and saying, Cody.
Oh.
And me and Shadow just looked at each other. And I was like, dude, he follows. Whenever we're together, he must like it because
he follows y'all around. Yeah.
I've never mentioned Cody yet to her.
Yeah. And she was in the kitchen saying his name. Like,
yes. And I've always heard the stories of kids doing that, and it happened.
So I have a question about that. We've discussed it before as a group and us one-on-one, but now it's just something for like the audience to talk about with us in the comments. When it comes to paranormal,
yeah,
I know it's not Bigfoot, but when it comes to paranormal stuff, like your dad and Cody,
yeah,
like Riley is seeing or knowing these people's names, do you think it's really them? Or like how do you think that really works as you know?
Here's my thing on that.
Mm-hmm.
I've grown up Christian my whole life. No one knows how God
exactly
lets people
or
call like no, you live on faith. Yeah, but the Bible, I mean, I don't want to really get into the Bible because I just don't want to get into it right now, but do I think that the things that we go into, like whenever we went to the Euro Shrine, do I think those are real spirits? No, I think that's demons.
Yeah.
That's demons 100% because they practice every religion in there and they called up the devil right in front of you and I.
Yeah, but it's interesting.
I think that it could be because why else? But I think it could be your past relatives. I mean,
it's just it's a curious conversation.
Who's to say they haven't? I don't know. Because I've heard. I mean, I thought the Bible says you're resting until the end of times or something like that. But I've heard that you take your first breath in heaven as soon as you.
Well, yeah. If you're in heaven, yeah, it's like you can't come back.
Yeah.
Normally.
Yeah.
As far as we know.
Yeah, but what if he did bless them and say, "Here, go see your niece, your brother, your 2 favorite people, and your nieces in the same house together," or my dad, she grabbed it and just knowing it was his. What if she met them before she came down here?
True.
It's just stuff like that.
You know what
blows me away.
Here's my theory. What I've always thought about that particular thing is you're on the right track of what I'm thinking. I think it's demons, but they, you know how devil or demons are like very what's the word? They're very persuasive, manipulative. Yeah. So could it be that the demons are camouflaged or disguised as these people that we know, these relatives and stuff?
I don't know. Or is their energy just attached to something in this house and it's...
Energy's one. That's a big one too. You're right.
Like what if that energy was attached? Because there's a necklace around that dog that my dad kept on it. Or is their energy just attached to it?
Okay, so speaking of energies real quick, do you still have and or wear the 2 medallions that Rick gave us?
I don't. I had to throw mine away.
I did too, because of weird things were happening.
Weird thing? Like...
Yeah.
So Amy, Paige, was in the bed.
Yes.
There was something I thought was a spider web that went across her doorbell. So they're in the trash. Sorry, Rick.
Sorry, Rick.
Sorry, D, Gary. I know
Sorry,
we all had a
guys.
blood bond
Yep.
with those,
Yep.
but mine
Yep.
are no longer in my house.
Me neither.
I didn't want it in my house. I felt like it just brought something back.
I had some questionable towels get repositioned, so I threw mine out.
Really.
Yeah.
Speaking of towels, did y'all ever change the
No, my mom and dad still have that towel, same way Kevin left it.
Kevin?
Good old Kevin, yeah. So, that's a wrap this week. Emails coming soon for the podcast. This will soon be on Spotify, Apple, Google Play, all that good stuff. We just got to get things rolling. This is the second episode.
Yeah,
How you feeling about it?
Maybe we can get David in here one day to do an episode with us. But I'm loving it so far. Do you want to do the item pick this week, or do you want to kind of skip it and just close it out? And
I need more items on the table, but we can do it real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. You go first.
Okay. Since I was a jerk last week, this picture right here is just of me and Paige at the Marion Bigfoot Festival last year, and it was fun. There was probably 20,000 or so people show up. We spoke to about 500 of them. You were playing golf that weekend.
I was coaching basketball. Okay.
But that's pretty cool, and that's why that picture's on there. And it was fun. Riley was there. I think she might be in the background or something.
Good.
But there was these 3 guys that looked really sketchy at at the Marion Festival last year. They were just walking around really looking at people. Like,
was that the
really
ones you
weird.
thought were like...
Yeah, it was just weird.
Interesting.
But hopefully this year goes really good too on May the 18th. But that is that photo of me and my wife.
Cool. So I need photos, obviously, and I kind of want to put some more stuff out, so yeah. But Black Yoshi, I don't know if you ever played it, but Yoshi's Story on Nintendo 64.
He's also on Mario Kart.
Oh, is he? That's cool. So I always liked him because he was the hardest one to find, the egg and stuff on the old game. So
yeah.
I found it one day at Walgreens. Heck yeah. Stay tuned next week, and until then, keep squatching.
Get squatchy and have a nice day.